The capacitor is the essential component of any circuit design, and in fact, after the resistor, it is the second most used passive component in the circuits. Now, these capacitors are available in various sizes and shapes, but the basic function of any capacitor is to store the electrical energy. So now in this video, let us understand how does this capacitor works and how the energy is stored across this capacitor. Now this capacitor consists of two conducting plates which are separated by a dielectric material.
When we say the plates are made up of conducting material, we should keep in mind that conducting material has ample of free electrons, and whenever a positive potential is applied to such free electrons, these electrons in the conducting plate will try to move towards the positive connection of the battery. At the same time, we should also keep in mind that between the two plates of capacitor we are using dielectric material or insulating material. These insulating material do not have any free electrons and will not allow passage of any free electrons through them.
Now this dielectric material is the insulating material and it opposes the flow of current. So now let us understand when we apply the voltage to this capacitor, then how the energy is stored across this capacitor. Now before the application of voltage, the two conducting plates of this capacitor are electrically neutral. It means that it has an equal amount of positive as well as the negative charge. But once the voltage is applied to this capacitor, then from the top plate, the electrons or the negative charge is attracted towards the positive terminal of this battery. And through the negative terminal of the battery, the electrons are pushed towards the bottom plate of this capacitor. Now because of the dielectric material between the two plates, the electrons which are collected at the bottom plate of this capacitor are not able to cross this barrier. And because of that, you will observe that over the period of time, the electrons will get accumulated at the bottom plate of this capacitor. So over the period of time, the top plate will have a shortage of electrons while the bottom plate will have a excessive electrons. Or we can say that the top plate will get positively charged while the bottom plate will get negatively charged.
Now as seen, we have applied positive of battery to the top plate. All free electrons in the top plate will move towards the positive terminal of the battery, and as we have applied negative of the battery to the bottom plate, all the electrons from the battery will flow towards the bottom plate. Now as between these two plates there is an insulator or a dielectric material, electrons cannot flow directly from the bottom plate to the top plate. Thus, due to accumulation of electron at the bottom plate will acquire negative charge, and due to shortage of electron at the top plate will acquire positive charge. Thus, due to the potential of top and bottom plate, a main electric field E will be set up between the plates. The direction of this field will be from positive plate to negative plate as shown in the figure. Now let us examine a dielectric material. As we know, dielectric material is insulating in nature. It do not have any free electrons. At the same time, we also know that all atoms are electrically neutral. That means number of electrons and number of protons in every atom is equal. At the same time, these electrons are evenly distributed surrounding the nucleus. Hence, center of positive charge will coincide with the center of negative charge, and in general totality we can say any atom or every atom is electrically neutral. Now when a potential is applied to such a dielectric material, as seen in the figure, electrons will be pulled towards the positive plate. As being the insulating material or dielectric material, these electrons cannot leave their orbit, but still they will be pulled or will experience a force towards the positive plate. Due to this, center of negative charge no more coincides with the center of positive charge, and in that case we can say atom is no more electrically neutral, or we can even say a electric dipole has been formed as shown in the figure. These small dipoles are called as molecular or atomic dipoles. They are electrical atomic dipoles, and their electric field intensity will be opposite to the applied electric field intensity. These atomic dipoles and their electric field intensity will be opposite towards the supply electric field intensity. Hence, we have to do work against this electric field intensity, and that work will be stored as energy, or that work will be stored as charge in the capacitor.
And because of the charged particles, the potential difference will get developed across the two plates. Now the building of charges across the two plates will continue till the point the potential difference that is developed across the two plates is equal to the supplied voltage, and this developed electric field is directly proportional to the potential difference, and it is inversely proportional to the distance between the two plates. So smaller the distance between the two plates, the stronger will be the electric field.
Now when we increase the voltage, more and more electrons will try to move towards the positive plate, and hence more and more work will be done, so that electric field intensity will increase as more and more atomic dipoles will form. Now when we decrease the distance between the plate, the thickness of dielectric will decrease, and the same potential will get applied to the lesser thickness of dielectric. Hence, electric field intensity will again increase.
So in this way, when we apply the voltage to the capacitor, then the charges are developed across the two plates of this capacitor, and because of the development of the charge, the electric field is developed between the two plates. So in this way, the capacitor stores the energy in form of this electric field. Now even if we remove this voltage source, then also the charges that is developed across the two plates will remain as it is. So unless we apply the conductive part to this capacitor, the charges that is developed across the two plates will remain as it is. So as you can see over here, the conductive path is connected between the two terminals of this capacitor, and the load in the form of bulb is connected to this conductive path. So now whenever we turn on this switch, at that time the electrons from the bottom plate will get attracted towards the top plate, and in this way you will see the transfer of charge or flow of current through this conductive path. So now because of flow of current, you will see that the bulb will glow, and in this way the current will flow through this conductive path, and this procedure will continue till both the plates will become electrically neutral. So over the period of time, you will observe that both plates will become electrically neutral, and there will not be any flow of electrons through this conductive path, and because of that the bulb will again turned off. So in this way, the charge that was developed across the capacitor has been discharged through this conductive path, and this phenomenon can be known as the discharging of this capacitor.
In the charge state of capacitor, the atomic structure of dielectric will look like this, that is non-uniform distribution of electron around the nucleus. Once that charge has been discharged, it will again regain the normal structure, means again the electron will get uniformly distributed around the nucleus, and we can say capacitor has been discharged.
Now the ability of the capacitor to store the charge is known as the capacitance, and it is represented as the charge that is developed across the capacitor per unit voltage, and generally it is denoted by the unit of Faraday. Now this Faraday is very big unit, and usually it is not used to define the capacitance. Rather, very small units like millifarad, microfarad and picofarads are used to define the capacitance. So now for the given capacitance, if you want to store the more charge across the capacitor, then you need to apply the more voltage across that capacitor. Or for the given voltage, suppose if you want to store the more charge across the capacitor, then you need to select the capacitor in such a way that it has a large capacitance. So as you can see over here, by changing the applied voltage, we can change the amount of charge that is stored across the capacitor. But here we cannot increase the voltage indefinitely.
Now, as we have already seen, when we apply a positive potential towards the plate, the electron will be pulled towards that plate. But suppose take an situation, if we keep on increasing this positive potential, then more and more electron will be pulled or stretched towards the positive plate. A situation will come when this potential will be such that it will literally pull out the electron from the outermost orbit of the atoms. If this happens, then the atomic structure of the dielectric material or insulator will break down, and we can say that that dielectric has been broken down, or generally we can say that that insulator has been broken down.
So for every capacitor, you will find that the maximum voltage rating has been defined. So the voltage that is applied across the capacitor should be less than that maximum rating. So if the applied voltage is greater than the maximum rated voltage, in that case you will see the dielectric breakdown in the capacitor. So now let us see the factors which affects the capacitance of this capacitor. So there are three factors which affects the capacitance of this capacitor. The first is the area of the plates. Then the second factor is the distance between the two plates of this capacitor. And the third factor is the permittivity of the dielectric material. And the relation between three can be given by this expression, that is C is equal to epsilon A by D. So as you can see over here, the capacitance of this capacitor is directly proportional to the area of the plates as well as the permittivity of this dielectric material, and it is inversely proportional to the distance between the plates. So now let us see how these factors can affect the capacitance of this capacitor. So the first factor is the area of these plates. So as the area of this plate increases, the amount of charge that can be stored across the plates will also increase, and in a way we can say that the capacitance of the capacitor will increase. Now the second factor which affects the capacitance is the distance between the two plates. So now as the distance between the two plates reduces, the electric field that is developed across the two plates will also increase, because it is inversely proportional to the electric field. And as this electric field increases, the charge that can be stored across the capacitor will also increase. So the third factor which affects the capacitance is the permittivity of the dielectric material. Now this permittivity can be defined as the product of absolute permittivity and the relative permittivity, where this relative permittivity is also known as the dielectric constant of the material. So because of this dielectric material, the capacitance of the capacitor will increase. So now let us understand how this dielectric material affects the capacitance of the capacitor. Now like I said before, this dielectric material is the insulating material, so it will not allow the flow of current. But this dielectric material has a polar molecules.
This polar molecule is same as what we have taught about molecular or atomic dipoles.
It means that whenever there is a no electric field, in that case these molecules are aligned randomly. But whenever the external electric field is applied, in that case these molecules align themselves according to the electric field. So at the top edge of the dielectric material, if you see, you will find the negative charges, while at the bottom end of this dielectric material you will find the positive charges. Now these charges develops its own electric field which opposes the electric field that is generated by the capacitor. So because of this dielectric material, the effective electric field of the capacitor will reduce, And in a way we can say that the potential difference that is generated across the two plates will also reduce, provided the charges that is developed across the two plates are constant. So in that case, to increase the potential, we require the more amount of charge across the two plates. So in a way we can say that because of the introduction of this dielectric material, the capacitor can store more amount of charge, or we can say that the capacitance of the capacitor will increase. So these are the three factors which affects the capacitance of this capacitor. So I hope in this video you understood how does the capacitor works and which are the factors which affects the capacitance of the capacitor.